capacity crowd, and just listen to the reception for the two teams. Still no Paul Elliott in the Celtic ranks, so Roy Aitken and Derek White continue at centre-back, with Tommy Burns preferred to Anton Rogan at left-back. And Tommy Coyne is in, to the exclusion of Andy Walker in attack, to partner the new favourite of the Parkhead fans, Jackie Jikanovski. Peter Grant will be looking to celebrate his selection for Andy Roxburgh's World Cup squad for Yugoslavia, with a dominant performance in what will undoubtedly be a highly competitive midfield. And John Hewitt has an early chance to reinforce his reputation as a big occasion player after his transfer 2 weeks ago for a fee of £250,000 from Aberdeen, for whom he scored that European winning goal against Real Madrid in 1983. That Rangers team reveals a pre-match injury smokescreen because Richard Gough plays with a patched-up foot injury, but there's no Ali McCoist or Mark Walters. They're on the bench. Graham Sin is sticking with the striking partnership of Drinkle and Johnston, with Brown likely to stiffen the midfield. And a new experience this for England international Trevor Steven, reaching the peak of a very illustrious career. He's Berwick born, and his transfer fee is still to be assessed, but it's sure to be well into seven figures. And the calming influence for Rangers will be the massively experienced Ray Wilkins, who scored one of the most spectacular Old Firm goals of last season. So the most eagerly anticipated Old Firm match for a long time is started by Celtic. With heavy rainfall this morning, making the surface treacherous, I fancy. There's Mike Galloway with his shorn haircut. His usual preparation for big matches. Blustery wind also around Celtic Park, so conditions will be difficult while the teams try to settle. So John Brown takes the throw for Rangers. It will be interesting to see whether Brown plays left back or left midfield. The collision with Galloway, and the decision goes Celtic's way. In comes Butcher. Galloway off by Drinkle. There's Wilkins. And Butcher with Brown. Johnston's return pass. Good play from Rangers. Brown going all the way himself. And good cover once again provided by Tommy Barnes, but that was surging play by John Brown. Brown linking there with Maurice Johnston, striding forward, and then being cut off in the end by Tommy Barnes. Goes Richard Gough. Stephen helps it out. Good play by Hewitt. Holding play up. This is Barnes. Now Paul McStay. Hewitt again. Into McStay. That was great play by Paul McStay. Initiating a superb Celtic attack through this tight, crowded area as he takes the return pass from Hewitt, drives that across the face of the goal. There's no taker coming in at the far post. Judging that ball as it skids off the wet surface for the Celtic throw. Headed by Gough. Quite challenging fiercely, and this is McStay once again. Now Morris. This is Grant trying to turn. McStay playing it forward. Here's Mike Galloway. Taking on Brown, heading for the byline. There's Trevor Steven with the clearance. Wallace heading it down. For the next day, back it goes to Aitken. Hewitt trying to go inside. Trevor Steven keeping his head. Laying it back to Ginsberg in goal. Johnston misjudging the flight, linking now with Drinkle. There's Wilkins. Jikanovski, well tackled. Here's Ian Ferguson. Now Drinkle. Stephen. Eddie Stevens to Johnston. Back it goes to Ferguson. Here's Stuart Monroe. Looking for Drinkle in the box. Challenged well by Barnes. It came off Tommy Barnes. Rangers have the corner kick. And this has been a very impressive opening to the match. We've seen some great football already in the match. There's Stuart Munro flighting that across, looking for Trinkle. It came off the head of Barnes. John Brown in the box. Trevor Stephen with the outswinger. Butcher waits. There's Butcher! Butcher for Rangers! 5 minutes gone! A dream start for Rangers! The presence, the physique, the heading ability of Terry Butcher exemplified with that tremendous effort. The power beat Pat Bonner, and Rangers get their opening league goal of the season. Graham Souness looking agitated in the director's box with Walter Smith on the two-way radio. What a start to the match. Well, Rangers could scarcely believe they could get off to such a good start in this incredible Cauldron. Butcher leading by example with that supreme header. Back it goes to White. Calm piece of play by the youngster at the back, still only 20 years old. That sets up Trekkinovsky, caught by Ginsberg. It's a free kick at the edge of the box. The Celtic players looking for a penalty kick. The referee says no. Here it is again. Trekkinovsky going for the ball there, caught right at the edge of the box. And that appears to indicate the referee was right with his decision. Right on the 18-yard line, and Bonnie Ginsberg will be booked, I'm sure, for his involvement in that incident. And Celtic have a free kick right at the edge of the box. Well, the Rangers defence certainly caught out here with that magnificent pass from Tommy Bunce, opening them up, allowing Trekkinovsky to beat the offside trap, and there was the foul by Ginsberg. Well, Rangers very fortunate indeed to have that free kick given right at the edge of the box. Touch and goal. The penalty kick. A great opportunity nevertheless for Celtic. Ginsberg on the line, a five-man Rangers wall lined up. Ginsberg trying to organise it. Well, Chris Morris isn't involved. That's something of a surprise. There's McStay now with a flighted chip shot. Well, Bonnie Ginsberg will undoubtedly consider that good value, I reckon. Saving what might well have been a goal with that foul on Trekkinovsky, and then the free kick. Touch sideways to McStay, whose shot goes over. There goes Munro, testing the pace of Morris. Morris not found lacking in that department. Carries through to Stevens. Bit of pushing there in the middle of the field by Ian Ferguson, picked up by the referee, so Celtic have a free kick. Butcher's header. Morris in quickly as Munro waited. John Brown helps it on. Right inside by Grant. There's Coyne. Now Trekkinovsky easing himself away from Butcher. This is Hewitt. The early ball to the far post. John Brown is there for Rangers. Looking very calm, and they turned it away for the corner. Good build-up again though from Celtic. Derek White goes forward, as does Roy Aitken. Pressure on Bonnie Ginsberg, and the Rangers go. Here's Hewitt with the in-swinger. Near post ball. Breaks in off Trekkinovsky. Trekkinovsky's goal. The header by Tommy Coyne in the initial one. There's the corner kick. In came Coyne. It came off the post. Broke off Trekkinovsky, and Celtic are back on level terms. 19 minutes of the first half gone. Billy McNeil still looks very stern in the director's box. But Trekkinovsky picks up another goal for Celtic, his third competitive goal for the club. Well judged again by Butcher in the air. Aiken getting in front of Trinkle. That's good play by Stephen. Gets support now from Stevens behind. Wilkins doing well, retaining possession for Rangers. Celtic hustle in midfield. Handball by Aiken, he'll be booked for that. The pass would have reached Kevin Drinkle. Well, the paperwork being done already. A high ball played forward, getting beyond Roy Aiken, no question about that. Deliberate handball, and quite properly a booking for the Celtic captain. Butcher's gone forward, three in the wall, Coyne, Hewitt and McStay. Ray Wilkins is controlling things for Rangers. Off goes Drinkle! And dreadful cover among the Celtic defenders. That could so easily have been Rangers' second. Pat Bonner is furious with his defenders. Now just look at the space Kevin Drinkle has here. Unchallenged as he jumped for that. Hewitt through the middle, too far ahead of Tchaikovsky. Ginsberg taking control for Rangers. See Tchaikovsky trying to force him on his left foot. Well, good play by Tchaikovsky. Effectively winning possession back with Ginsberg making the error with the kick out. There's Galloway striding forward. Brown is there, biding his time for the challenge. Chris Morris this time with the throw. And to Coyne, there's Galloway, back to Coyne, he's offside. Well, a protest there being made towards the far side linesman. Chris Morris in particular becoming a bit upset. Tommy Coyne also having a word. Ferguson helps it on. Drinkle to Stephen, that's for Johnston. The first glimpse of goal for Maurice Johnston. Couldn't control the shot. An ominous gap there in the Celtic defence as Stephen lofted that ball inside. Difficult one for Johnston. All a bit untidy for the moment in midfield. Goff kept his eye on that. It's back with Tommy Burns though. And there goes the half-time whistle. Some excellent football in the opening 45 minutes with Terry Butcher giving Rangers that early lead, and then an equalizer coming from Jackie Tchaikovsky. A tale of two corner kicks it was really. The first corner kick taken by Trevor Stephen, Butcher going up unchallenged to bullet the ball home to give Rangers the lead in 5 minutes. And then it was a corner kick on the far side taken by John Hewitt right across the Rangers defence. Tommy Coyne's headed off the post. Tchaikovsky was there to knock it home. So the honours even in half-time, and that's just about right. At half-time, it's Celtic 1, Rangers 1. No change in either lineup for the start of the second half. Rangers get the match back underway, and they have a very illustrious pair of substitutes, Rangers, with Mark Walters and Ali McCoist in reserve. Celtic have there's McCoist and Ian Durrant beside him with Chris Woods. Mark Walters also in the back. The Celtic have Anton Rogan and Andy Walker. There they are warming up. They're available to come on. So some top-class substitutes available for both sides. Galloway get a touch. Despite being pushed from the back by Brown, the Celtic have a free kick. And an opportunity again to pressurise the Rangers rear guard and to bring some worries to Bonnie Ginsberg and the Rangers goal. Paul McStay over the ball. Galloway at the far corner of the box, so is Aiken. That's for Galloway to chase. Appeared to be a hand used, but it was used by Galloway. Galloway clearly thinks he was being fouled on the run. Referee David Simon decisive as ever as that ball is flighted in. The challenge was made there involving Goff and Galloway, and the infringement is against Galloway. Neither Aiken nor Drinkle made that. Morris's appearance. There's Tchaikovsky. They've got a good ball towards Coyne. Butcher is there. There's Stevens. The danger spotted by Derek White as Ferguson made the break from midfield. Neat play, Hewitt and Burns together. This is White. Grant lets him run to McStay. He's away from Butcher, he has Coyne ahead. Great play from Celtic. Driven across, there's John Brown, now Jiganovski. Setting it up for Hewitt. And a brilliant save from Ginsberg. Well, that will do his conference the world of good. This was superb goalkeeping. Paul McStay at the heart of it again, setting it up for Coyne. Plays this across. John Brown intercepts. Jiganovski sets it into the path of Hewitt. Now look at the save from Ginsberg at full stretch. And Hewitt to the corner. There's Coyne again, he's free. Well, what has happened to the marking inside the box at corner kicks? Tommy Coyne hangs his head, left alone again, and couldn't find the target. And now there's going to be a change made by Rangers. It's Kevin Drinkle, who's been deemed to have done enough. He goes off, and what a replacement this is. The Scotland centre forward, Ali McCoist, coming on to link up with Maurice Johnston in international partnership. Ali McCoist, something of a specialist in scoring goals against Celtic. He's certainly given plenty of time to make an impact. There's Gary Stevens. There's McCoist. Well, quite typical, his first touch, a shot at goal. Off with a header. McStay picks up the loose ball in the middle of the field. Here's John Hewitt. Now Jiganovski. Back it goes to Hewitt. Monroe made the challenge. It allows Ferguson to pick it up. That's for Johnston. He's onside. A great chance for Rangers. Brilliant play from Maurice Johnston. Applauded by the Rangers fans as well he might. Well, striking his best. Look at the control here, bringing that down in a flash, sending the ball wide of Pat Bonner, but also wide of the target. Butcher again winning the high ball. Here's McCoy. This is Johnston again. It's a great chance for Maurice Johnston. Perhaps he was over-anxious. That's certainly not typical striking from Johnston. Set up brilliantly by McCoy. What a great pass it was. Johnston with lots of time and space, setting himself for the shot and pulling it well wide of the target. Well, a shake of the head from Johnston. He can scarcely believe it. Followed there by Grant, down goes Jiganovski, a dive indicated by the referee. Well, certainly wasn't going to reach it. John Brown looks approvingly towards the referee. Ginsberg forced to his left foot for the clearance. He did well with that though. Here's Coyne. On for Jiganovski. Can he go through himself? Brown gets back. Not quite the explosive pace required to go through the gap from Jiganovski. But gaps now appearing in both defences. Rangers come forward again. There's Wilkins. And Stevens. Ferguson's onside. Down he goes, and a wrestle there with Aiken. Appeals for a penalty kick waved aside by the referee. Made, I think, more in hope than expectation. Butcher kneeing that to safety. Here's Tommy Burns. Breaks there kindly for Jiganovski. Giving away, could go to that tight corner, running into Stevens. Stay battling hard with Ferguson in midfield. Here's Goff. Celtic accept the throw. It'll be taken by Barnes. Back it goes to Grant. There's McStay. Derek White playing it in. Brown marking Galloway tightly. Laid off by Johnston for Monroe. That's for McCoist. A good pass from Monroe. McCoist in the clear on the right. Looking up. Trying to set it up for Johnston. There's Monroe, and the headed clearance came from Derek White. Well, McCoy's trying to use that opportunity to the full, and it was great defending by White. We'll see this now as McCoy breaks, look away, looks up, tries to see who's available, then flights the ball over, and it was Derek White who got back. There's Tchanovsky and Paul McStay. Right across to Hewitt, in it goes to Coyne. Wilkins in the right place for Rangers. There's Johnston. McCoy came back to stay onside. Waiting now for support. In it goes to Ferguson. Under pressure from Paul McStay. There's Coyne. Having a run at Goff now. Making a little byline, good play from Coyne. Tchanovsky intercepted there, is blocked by Ginsberg. Galloway's challenge on Ferguson. Monroe steps in, and down goes McCoy. It's the foul by Ayton. Well, it was a great opportunity there for Celtic, and Jackie Tchanovsky, when he sees this, may regret not letting this ball run when it came inside from Coyne. McStay was there with a great shooting chance. Ginsberg blocked the shot with his feet. Tchanovsky saying he didn't get a call from Paul McStay. Wilkins inside, there's Trevor Stephen. Easily picked up by Burns. Galloway calls for the ball. Morris makes himself available on the right. Tchanovsky, great play. Cleared off the line by Goff. Helped on its way by Brown. That'll be a corner kick. Richard Goff, the hero for Rangers. Played across there to Tchanovsky. Look at the way he's away from Butcher. Played it beyond Ginsberg, and Goff was there. Richard Goff clearly now in a lot of pain with that foot injury, but sticking with the task. With 2 minutes left as John Hewitt takes the corner kick for Celtic. Goes Butcher. Grant going up with Monroe. Butcher again. Here's Burns. Hooking the ball across to this near side, looking for Hewitt. That may well go for a Rangers throw. And there goes the final whistle. Referee David Syme allowing no time for stoppages. Honours finishing even. Jackie Tchanovsky's equaliser. After Terry Butcher's opener, the first Old Firm match of the season ends in a draw, and I have the distinct impression that neither sets of players or sets of fans are too unhappy about that.
The two captains, gentlemen, any real complaints about the result, Terry?
Well, obviously, towards the end of the game, we had a couple of good chances, but Celtic had a couple of good chances in the first half as well, so in the end, the draw was a good result. We're happy to come away with a point and a goal, so at least we've got 1 point more than we had this morning.
And a goal more than you had this morning too, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm now the club's leading league goal scorer. So that's probably one and only time. But,
overstays that way, yeah.
Overstays it, right? Yeah.
Right, question is, where were you all when Terry scored the opener?
It's something we talked about as well, watching this big man at corner kicks. It's a bad goal from our point of view, as probably as their goal, or our goal from their point of view, came from a corner as well. It's a home match for us, we're looking to win the game, but I think at the end of the day, our draw was a fair result.
Was there anything special about this particular Old Firm game in the build-up, because there was so much hype, so much media attention? Did it make any difference to the players out there in the field?
Well, I think it took the pressure away from the other players who played in the games before. All the focus of attention was on Morris, and I thought Morris handled it very, very well. It's unfortunate that they didn't score a goal. I think if he had scored a goal, then the police presence here might have been troubled a little bit. But all credit to Morris, and it did help us. I mean, it helped me personally as well, though. We were all going through a traumatic time at the hands of the press and you boys about not getting any points and any goals, but it took the pressure off us considerably, yes.
Anything about playing against Morris in a Rangers jersey that was different for you, Roy?
Not necessarily. We were obviously disappointed that Morris didn't come to us, but that's in the past now, and it doesn't matter who we're playing against, whether it be Morris Johnson, Alan McCoy, Kevin Rinkle. It's up to us to go out and combat that threat, and I didn't find any particular pressure put on us. As I say, we were the home team and we were expected to win the match, but it's a team effort. It's not about individuals. It's good to have good individual players playing, but it's all about what the team does.
Now, Terry, it has been a bad start for Rangers, and could this be the turning point for you think, the performance today?
Well, I hope so. I think we're on the run now. We've got 1 point more than we had this morning. But we've got the quarterfinals of the Skull Cup coming up against Hamilton away on Wednesday. And then there's a break for international. And then we've got Aberdeen at home, so we've got another hard game there. But the confidence is there from the lads today. I think it sometimes takes a big pressure game and a big game like the Old Firm match. So it's like get us going. I think we're like sleeping a little bit and dwelling on last year's past achievements. So it was a rude awakening for us, and it was a perfect game today for us to get out of the doldrums and out of our sleepiness and to get going, because it had to be a good team performance to get a result here.
Image of the week.
And Ali McCoy's heroics for Scotland in Zagreb haven't been enough to earn him a place in the side, with Drinkle and Johnston preferred in attack. But Terry Butcher plays, and Ian Ferguson is back in midfield after missing the trip to Yugoslavia.